Hello, I'm doing question 1 of the 2006 AP exam for microeconomics. This one is about the only art museum on the island of Watsonia. The museum's demand and cost curves are shown in the graph above. The museum currently relies on an admission charge for some of its funding, and its directors are debating about how to set up the admission charge. So, the museum wants to know where it maximizes its profit. And that's always at the marginal cost curve meeting the marginal revenue curve here. And that's because you want the most amount of revenue before it's smaller than the cost of gaining that revenue, and that's right here. Because it's a monopoly, you move up to find the price at the demand curve, which is P5. And so you need to produce Q2, P5 for the most amount of profit. The museum might also want to maximize its total revenue. And that happens where marginal revenue is equal to 0. That's because you want the most revenue before it becomes negative so that it can increase your total revenue. So we're going to produce at Q4 and we're going to go up to the demand at P3, which is what we're going to sell it at. The museum might also want to maximize consumer and producer surplus. And that happens right here at P4, Q3. This is because really the marginal cost curve is the supply curve. And what you can see is the equilibrium of what you see of a normal market is right here. There is no deadweight loss. It is the most consumer and consumer producer surplus possible. And so to maximize that, we want to become that market equilibrium. The market equilibrium, because the marginal cost curve is really the supply curve, is where the marginal cost curve meets the demand at P4, Q3. The museum might also want to maximize its attendance as long as it's not actively losing money. And where that is where average total cost meets demand. So they're breaking even, economically breaking even here. It's because their costs are now equal to what the consumer is willing to pay. When attendance is Q1, is the demand price elastic, inelastic, or unit elastic? Well, it is elastic because at this point Q1, it is at a point where marginal revenue is still positive. That means that when we're lowering the price, marginal revenue is actually still going up. Or not marginal revenue, actual revenue is going up. So when we lower the price, the revenue goes up since they're not, one is going up, one is going down. They're not both going up or both going down. It's elastic. C. Assume that the price is set at P2. Assume the existence of opportunity costs. Indicate whether the accounting profits will be positive, negative, or 0. So at P2, it would be producing here exactly where average total cost is equal to what the consumer is actually willing to pay. So they're making 0 economic profit. However, they would be making accounting profit because we're assuming that opportunity cost exists. And so accounting profit or economic cost, because it includes implicit and explicit, while accounting cost only includes the explicit costs. Accounting profits are always going to be more existent, larger than the economic cost or the economic profit. So accounting profit will always be larger than the economic profit because economic profit is zero. The accounting profits have to be positive. Assume the government decides the museum should charge no admission and agrees to subsidize the museum for any losses. Use labeling in the graph, identify the museum's attendance under that circumstance. So if the price was literally zero, only Q7 would attend. This is the largest amount, Q7. Would this outcome be allocatively efficient? So allocative efficiency means that the marginal social benefit has to be equal to marginal social cost. So you're not paying too much for too little benefit. And here, you're paying an insane amount for relatively low benefit. And so at Q7, you're not being allocatively efficient.